Hello, everyone. RPG Kim Kid here, back with some more Final Fantasy 16. In the previous video, we went to Phoenix Gate to learn the truth, and Clive has accepted the truth, and now he can bring about the power of Ifrit. That's right. Now I have the Will of the Wicks, which looks pretty awesome. And shit seems to be going down here, so what's going on? Oh, that's not good.
What happened here?
Imperials, you'll pay for this.
Ah, we've got a live one.
What are you doing here? Answer me! Stay down!
Remember our orders? No survivors!
Who would order such a thing?
Why do I get the feeling this was dear old mother that did this?
Thought you could escape us, did you, Branded? You were born a slave, and you'll die one! Kill all the ducal dogs!
Ducal dogs? They were innocent people! It's over. You're finished. Stay down.
Stay down.
You will not take this. Sick of Torgal. The Empire will never. It's over. Wake winds. You will not take me. Put them all to the sword, there or no. There, boys!
All
Oh, you're a
must
big
burn.
motherfucker.
The bearers and those who sheltered them. By Empress Annabella's command.
Yep, there we go. It's dear old mother.
My mother ordered this.
Because she's a cunt.
I know. You can wait.
Give them all you've got, boys.
Not this time.
Ah, damn it. I don't know why I'm so slow on the... Fuck you. Enemy slain. Aww.
I'm sorry, Lady Hannah.
God damn it.
You deserved so much better. All of these people did. Better than my mother.
Yeah, no, she's got to go. We are killing that bitch.
We're too late. Gav. Clive.
No, like, we have to kill this bitch.
Acting on the orders of the Duchess, eh? We knew East Pool was harbouring bearers. Thought they were safe enough hidden up here, but someone must have let slip. If they'd have only come to us sooner, none of this would have had to happen. Fuck!
My mother always did despise bearers. The way father embraced them when the other nations spat on them as slaves. The way an accident of birth gave them a power that others lacked.
But why kill everyone? They meant no harm. They just wanted to be free.
And that's the reason.
This world judges that a crime punishable by death. Which is why we're going to change it. Gav, we want to help.
Thought you'd got your own stuff to be getting on with.
We do. But it can wait.
In that case, we should head back and tell Sid you've had a change of heart. He was always on it yet to join us.
All right.
And we'd best be quick. Last I heard, he was planning another excursion.
What about the villagers?
Aye. Can I leave yous lot to take care of things here?
Of course. We'll make sure they get a proper burial.
Thank you. All of you.
When you're ready, then.
Oh boy. You know, I should have known that something fucked was gonna happen when
Now, rats, lead me to your nest. Lord Kupka's message for your leader. If only he knew where to send it.
oh boy. I wondered, did the thing change here? A once proud village, but all but abandoned, following the heartless slaughter of her people. Yep. Righting wrongs.
To Sid Solar, then. We have a lot to discuss.
I heard Otto barking at his lot earlier. Didn't sound...
Phoenix. Oh god, that picture right there is just so fucking awesome.
Can I see I'm busy here?
What do you want?
Yeah, everything's changed now. That's so cool.
And?
Well, there's no reason for me to like get my shit upgraded. Or there's no way for me to get my shit upgraded. Forevermore. I think that was the sound,
Never knew dung had so many uses.
This water well.
And how might this old soul...
There's a lot of shit to talk to you about, dude.
You wish to study the tomes?
You wish to study the tomes? Revenge exacted. As the dominant of the Eikon, Titan thrust him into the forefront of Dalmancan politics, winning him influence over both the Republic's armies and its policymaking, as well as a personal fortune. His greatest treasure, however, was O's Benedict of Harm, so when a servant of Warlord informed him that his love had been slain by Cid, his fury towards the outlaw of his allies knows no bounds. Why? Okay, what the... I don't know why it does that sometimes, where it's like, it's not letting me actually, like, close out of the thing. Fuck you, you fucking cunt. Wife of Rodney Murdoch, Lord Commander of the Rosarian Army, since her marriage she resides at the Murdoch Manor in East Pool, remained there even after her husband's death at Phoenix Gate. Last her time was also to be cut short at the hands of the villainous servants of Empress Annabella. Ah, fucking bitch. Those who maintain allegiances to the late Archduke Alwyn and work to the revival of the fallen Duchy of Rosaria. After Rosaria was incorporated into the Empire, most were loyal to their new Versin, the Empress Annabella, even more converting after they saw how those who refused to change their allegiances were persecuted. This persecution was to only grow, culminating in the building of East Pool by Imperial troops. In the burning of East Pool, on the pretext that their reluctance to surrender Rosalia's bearers to the constabulary proved their disloyalty to the Holy Throne. The term had a different meaning in the time before Imperial occupation. Rosaria was founded by a union of several small independent nations, each led by its own noble house. These houses remained powerful even after unification, sometimes leading to friction between the loyalists who argued for the Archduke's ultimate authority and the separatists who pushed for a return of autonomy. It was once surrounded by fertile farmland, but the South Blight. The majority of the populace, however, was wiped out in the culling of bearers ordered by Empress Annabelle, and the village now lies abandoned in ruins. Purge was a brutal attack on the Rosarian village on East Pool in the year 873. Annabelle Lesage, Holy Empress of Sambeque, and Versus of Rosaria ordered that all bearers being harbored by the villagers be slaughtered along with those Dulce loyalties who had given them shelter. In the ensuing massacre, East Pool's population was effectually decimated, and ultimately the village was abandoned. I'm missing something somewhere. Oh, there we are. The place of worship located in the deeps of Phoenix Gate and an ancient stronghold in the northwest border of the former Duchy of Rosaria. A large mural dominates this sacred chamber where the rite of essential communion, ceremony carried out by the Duchy's dominant prior to marching to battle, was once performed. A wall painting found in the depths of the apothecary under Phoenix Gate. Who created it and for what purpose is unknown, but the celestial being in the central suggests some connection to a long-lost religion. Ultima's thralls. Oh, that's... Well, I feel like this is a little bit of a spoiler of who that guy on the top is now. That's Ultima, then. Twisted, glowing blue creatures that await Clive and Jill deep within Phoenix Gate to try and prevent them from gaining the innermost resources of the apothecary. So this thing's Ultima, then. Okay. Bombs. Floating masses of self-contained flames found across both Storm and Ash. These creatures lack the flesh with which we associate with typical fauna, leading scholars in the natural world to point that they are not descended from any beast, but rather ungodly creations by the fall. By suppressing their innermost furnaces, bombs can allow their bodies to cool and harden until appearing not more than simple stones unworthy of remark. It is in this form that they hunt their prey, wait until an unfortunate soul has stumbled upon their place of rest before rising from the ground to spew forth fiery gouts of death. Oddly, should the prey fight back, the bomb will not flee, but rather combust, spontaneously sacrifice its own life to save the flock. Oversized suits of armor animated by lost fallen magics, deceptively swift despite their size, they wield both sword and shield skillfully and effectively, while the otherworldly plate with which surrounds their vulnerable cords provide them with a nigh impenetrable defense.
The door to the shelves shall ever be open.
Do you need any help, Miss Molly?
Don't mind me. Just taking a quick...
Wait, ain't it?
I can set a broken arm, soothe a cough, settle a stomach. But there is no remedy for what happened in Eastpool. My talents are worthless in the face of such cruelty.
can keep running, or we can walk through this door.
This place is getting more crowded by the day.
I tell myself the bustle's a blessing. There'll be time enough for quiet contemplation when I'm dead. So, did you find the answers you were looking for?
I still don't know what to make of this gift, curse, or whatever it is I've been given. But there is one thing I can say for certain. I am a dominant, Ifrit. And there is nothing I can do to change that. It is a burden I must bear until my dying day.
Spoken true. Forgiveness and in turn salvation can only begin with acceptance. It's a path we all must walk, no matter how colourful our histories.
Sid, you once told me that you wanted to build a place where people could die on their own terms.
I did.
I've been thinking about that. Why not a place where people can live on their own terms? For 13 years, killing was all I knew. So obsessed with death that I never stopped to consider the lives of those around me. Lives that I see now were scarcely worth living. Be they bearers or beggars, most march blindly to their end, never realizing that they too deserve a choice. And I dare not turn a blind eye to their suffering any longer.
So, atonement then, is it?
That was the answer we found.
The only one we need.
I'll be expecting you both to pull your weight.
And we will.
Well then.
That's what we will.
With a sprinkle of fire and ice, this plan of mine might just work.
What trouble are you looking to get yourself into now?
The best kind. We're going to sneak into the Imperial capital.
Good.
And pay a visit to Mother.
And I'm gonna kill her. Fuck that bitch. Elia. Oriflame, the Holy Empire of Sembeque. The Council of Elders. White Worm Lair.
And the last of our farmholds in the eastern...
Capital of the Holy Empire of Sembeque, located northeastern storm on a peninsula that dominates Orpheus Bay and is home to the mother crystal known as Drake's Head. All the Empire's major instructions are located here, including White Worm Castle, set to the Holy Empire and meeting place of the Cardinals.
Provinces have succumbed to the Blight.
Without their yield, we will be hard-pressed to fill the capital's granaries before winter.
If there is a capital by then, the Black creeps closer as we speak.
And yet you do naught but bawl and bluster.
Your Radiance?
If it is fertile land the Empire requires, we need but look south.
If you mean the crystalline Dominion's holdings, we are bound by mutual accord. Theirs is a neutral...
Yeah, fuck this asshole. Emperor of the Holy Empire of Sembeque, who won his throne at least partly by virtue of his son Dion, having awakened as the dominant of Bahamut. Oh, of course, so the only reason you're emperor is because of your son. Advisors of the whole Empire of Sembeque and the highest body of government in the Empire. The council consists of 5 cardinals of the Georgian church who are intended to rule in the emperor's stead. The emperor, meanwhile, is expected to serve as a oh my god, why can't constitutional, Jesus, I can't fucking read. Constitutional monarch, but there is little to prevent one who wishes to impose their will upon the council from playing a more autocratic role. A tiny independent state straddles the continents of Storm and Ash. Its capital, Twin Side, is built in the tiny isles of Ark from which the Mothercrystal Drake's tail rises. The lack of a dominant has seen the Dominion become the subject of constant maneuvering over the years, both political and military, and it was only through the recent convening of the Council of All the Nations that a non-aggression treaty towards the neutral body was forged, and its tenuous stability among centuries-old rivals achieved.
State whose borders we are sworn to respect.
Gentlemen, did we swear to see our people starve?
Gentlemen. The gates of Oriflamme buckle at the flood of those come seeking refuge from the Blight. If there is not grain enough to feed those within our walls, how, pray tell, will we feed those without? But instead of setting your minds to riddles such as these, you lock horns with an enemy from across the sea, sending our soldiers to the slaughter in their thousands. The Empire bleeds, and you sit here prattling like crones in a tea house. And you fancy yourselves leaders of men. Sanbreque is naught without her citizens. Oh, Sanbreque.
We are but their servants. If their land is being wrested away, it is our duty to claim new lands for them.
Your Radiance! You cannot mean a war of conquest.
That is exactly what I mean. It is time we expanded our dominion. This is the will of great Grieger.
There will be uproar. Then we must find a way to distract the citizenry.
But how much will that cost? And what of our legions? Shall we raise the furs?
Well, someone will have to contend with the Dalmex.
I will not keep you. You all have much to do. Where is my son?
I completely forgot how they pronounce the
Lord
name.
Prince is currently garrisoned at the Strait of Aether. If it please you, I can send word requesting his immediate return.
Now found the northern of the Crystallian Dominion that separates the continents of Storm and Ash. When Samberque, or Sambro, yeah, I think it was like Sambro or something like that. To the west, Waylo to the east, and the Dominion to the south, its shores are never short of soldiers or political tension. Firstborn son and loyal subject of Emperor Sylvester, ruler of the Holy Emperor of Samburo, as well as leader of the Emperor's most elite force, the Dragoon, Don is also the dominant of Bahamut. Warden of Light and has often been called upon to summon his Eikon in defense of his countrymen. Most recently, the year of the realm 873, when Odin took the field against him in the Battle of Belistor. With the great city of Oriflamme's capital, Samberque is the realm's largest theocracy and home of the Mothercrystals Drake's head. The empire is ruled by the Holy Emperor, the one true goddess made flesh according to the Gregorian faith, who is served unquestionably by the sworn knights of the Blessed Dragon, known more commonly as the Dragoons.
To the holy capital.
That won't be necessary. Tell him instead to see to his wounds. Bahamut's strength will be needed again soon.
As you command.
It makes sense that Bahamut's the Warden of Lights. If
I must have misheard. You mean to tell me that the Mothercrystals are the reason the world is dying? Are you mad?
I have been called that on occasion, but no, not today. We've all seen it firsthand. Empty waste.
It's time to destroy the Mothercrystals.
Land drained so dry of its ether, not even the rats remained. But where was it all going? I spent years searching for an answer, until I saw it standing right in front of me. There, in the self-same crystals we look to for their so-called blessing. All right, listen. Take this crystal.
In his quest to create a world where bears and dominants can die on their own terms, he unearthed a shocking truth that the Mothercrystals were the cause of the all-consuming blight. He makes plans to see the mothers fall, that Valisthea and her people might be saved.
How does it allow us to conjure magics? Answer, by drawing ambient ether from the air. And where do these crystals come from?
That's easy. They're mine from the Mothercrystals.
They're one and the same. Although admittedly this here fits more easily in the pocket.
But the Mothercrystals are massive. Some as large as mountains.
So you see the problem. Imagine just how much ether can be drawn by something that size. As to where it's all going, mind, well, I can't know everything, can I?
We are taught that the Mothercrystals are divine. Their ether a gift from the heavens. For centuries, nations have fought and fallen for want of that gift. If what you say is true, how did no one else see it?
Who says they didn't? Maybe the truth was inconvenient.
Inconvenient to whom, exactly?
The ones in power. As it always is.
The higher-ups? The gods themselves?
So now you want to do something about the crystals? And what? We're not helping bearers and dominants anymore.
I didn't say that. I made a promise and I intend to keep it. But if we continue down this path, there's only one fate that awaits the realm. And we can't very well set our people free if they're all lying dead in a blighted ditch. Not if we want to create a place where they can live on their own terms anyway. Sort of defeats the purpose. So, if we have to bring the old world crashing down in order to build us a new one, what say you? Are you with me?
I suppose it's about time I repaid your faith.
Stabbing the crystals, yep.
You could have just said aye. But it's nice to have you aboard all the same.
Now the question is, how do we destroy the crystals? Do we just like become our Eikons and...
What have I got myself into? I'm going to need more than a few potions for this.
If everything we were taught about the Mothercrystals was a lie, then what else might we have been deceived about?
Now let's go, I guess, check out everything again.
Don't mind me. Just taking a quick...
Hello.
You've lost a letter. Nothing too important, I hope.
Not just a letter. I lost everything. There's a hole in my damn pack, and fool that I am, I didn't bloody notice.
It can't be that bad, surely.
How could it be any worse? I'm a courier. I carry things. If I can't do my job right, then what am I good for? Nothing, that's what. I buggered it right up. That means no herbs for the infirmary, and no fresh meat for our cooking pots. Worst of all, that letter I lost, it was for Sid. A letter he's been waiting on for days.
Maybe if you retrace your steps.
I'd scour Storm from coast to coast if I could, but there are curse breakers in the field, counting on my arrival. No, I'll just have to own up to Otto and Sid. They're gonna skin me alive.
They'll be in trouble if I don't.
Fine. Tell me where to look.
Are you serious? Thank you.
It sounds like the hideaway could use those supplies. So, where should I start?
Gotan's bales, perhaps? I took a tumble in the bushes when I was passing through. There's a chance my pack might have caught on something. If you can find everything I dropped, you'll be doing us all a favor. And if you can find Sid's letter, you'll be saving my life.
If it's there, I'll find it.
Wonderful. Now, I have to run if I'm to make my next delivery in time. I trust you can find your way to Gotan's bales. Oh, and hurry, will you? Sid doesn't like to be kept waiting.
I'm sure he doesn't.
Red Letter Day.
The letter won't last very long out in the elements. I should make for Sambrek as soon as I can.
Sambrek.
There's a commotion in the main hall.
Oh, so my letters... Oh, that's Sambrek right there. And that's Dalmaka, right?
What happened? Is everything...
Wanted to send a message, most likely.
Fellow back there's an intelligencer, tasked with tracking down Sid. Got separated from his unit and left for dead, till his target found him and brought him back here. Half wish he'd left him there.
Ah, so he was tasked with following Sid.
Well? What do you want?
Flame ton. With a ton of flame spark he the world of destruction.
No scratches, all right? And?
Okay, yeah, nope, this sword's fucking cool.
He's never listening.
What
Where
up?
are you, Randall?
Is everything all right?
Forgive me, young man. I was in a world of my own. I'm worried about my friend, you see. He left some time ago and hasn't returned. And you know what it's like out there for a bearer on his own.
Why leave the safety of the hideaway?
For coin. Sad though it is, our need outweighs the risk. The hideaway can't survive on goodwill alone. And though Karen does what she can, her coffers aren't bottomless. Wait. You were a soldier, were you not? In the Imperial Army?
I was.
Then might I ask a favour of you? I'm too old to be traipsing hither and yon. Will you go and find him for me?
I'll do what I can.
I'll do what I can.
Oh, thank you.
What can you tell me about your friend?
His name is Randall, and I suspect you'll find him in Lost Wing. He's been working for Quinton, the tavern keeper. He'll know something, I'm sure.
I'll speak to him.
Safe travels, my friend. And thank you again.
Needs of the many. Lost. All right, so we got a couple of areas to go to. Luckily, they're both in the same area. Well, I say same area, but it's not necessarily the same area.
The courier said his pack might have split while he was passing through the bales. I better keep my eyes open. Good. Looks like I'm in the right area. More of the lost supplies.
What's this one?
I doubt he could have fit much more in his pack. Still no sign of Sid's letter, though. We've come this far. Might as well ask around.
A little overdressed to be picking grapes, aren't you? Are you here for Master Quentin?
I'm looking for a letter someone dropped nearby. I don't suppose you've seen it.
Can't say I have, sorry.
Well, if you do...
Wait, I did pass a dog with something in its mouth a little while back. Could have been a piece of paper. No idea if it was your letter, but you never know.
Which way did it go?
Towards Lost Wing? Seemed well looked after to me. Dare say someone there's been feeding it.
To the village, then. Thank you.
To the village, then. Thank you. Good, because that's where I'm heading to. Oh, I guess if I do prioritize, it puts that one like at the top of the list, huh?
It's looking to be a fine
Back, are ya? Did Master Quentin summon ya? The shad's all salted and smoked.
It seems we have our culprit. Sorry, boy. Someone's waiting for this. He's waited long enough already. Hopefully this will keep our courier out of trouble.
a whole day on the line and then...
But what'll we do for supper?
But how did the grocer know his daughter had been stealing? We haven't much, but you're free to look.
Lionheart tonic. Feels the limit break.
You're always welcome here in Lostwing.
What's this? Drinks. Garula at 870.
Ah, if it isn't Sid's young protege. To what do I owe the pleasure?
I'm looking for a bearer called Randall. I hear he's been coming to you for work. He was expected back at the hideaway some time ago. A friend of his asked me to check on him.
Randall, you say? The porter? Yes, I know him. And I can't say I'm surprised if he has been delayed. I gave him enough to do. Though, thinking about it, he should probably have been back by now.
I'll go and look for him. Where was he headed?
He was to meet an associate of mine to the south of here, on Lorbert's Pass. I do hope nothing's happened to him. Be sure to let me know, Clive.
Alrighty.
Can I have
Mort-
another cup, Daddy?
Pass.
For me.
Okay, I believe this is the way to go, yeah. Nope, never mind. Oh, hi, Jill. I didn't know you were with me. I need to get above. Hello there. What up?
You all right?
The hanged man. Thank the gods. You're one of us. We were attacked. Beastmen on the road. Randall knew he didn't play the hero, but reckless sod insisted on drawing him off.
Where did this happen?
Further down the road. In the clearing. Please. You have to see that he's safe.
I'll do what I can. You go back to Lostwing and tell Quentin what happened.
Slay the beastman.
Goblins.
Hey, assholes.
Why am I not surprised? That's enough.
Not this time. Give them all you've got, boy. Sick of Torgal. Too slow. Don't let them get away.
Ding. How's yeah. Very little rhyme and even less reason went into the creation of this ghastly neck ornament. The bones strung along its crude twine most likely belonged to those unfortunate enough to meet its maker. Ah, poor dude.
Sorry, Randall. Looks like I was too late. He doesn't deserve to rot by the roadside. I'll speak to Quentin.
Honestly, I cannot wait till we get our third Eikon, which is most likely going to end up being Titan. Because, duh. I love how his run turns into like this light jog when you go into like a town like this. That is actually pretty cool. Pretty nice. Can I actually get in there from over here? It does not look like it, so...
Sun's setting fast.
Oh well.
Ah, there you are. My man told me what happened. And? I can't help but notice you're alone. Damn it. I feared as much.
He's not far from the South Gate. I trust you'll do right by him.
Of course. I'll send someone right away. I knew he was brave, though I didn't know he was reckless. Poor fool.
And you known him long?
A while. I liked the fact that he didn't shy away from dangerous work, and he liked what I paid.
Because it helped keep the hideaway afloat.
I'll tell Sid what happened here. I expect he'll be none too pleased to learn of Randall's fate. And I suppose you're none too happy either. For your trouble.
Okay, got some good stuff. There's no other side quests here, it seems. On this side, so... Is there a way I can, like... I know it says there's no available quest, but at the same time, it's like... I still want to, like, go to these places just to see if there's, like, a quest or something here. Because it makes sense if there is. Can I actually touch that now? Let me actually check that out then.
It's true. Burned to the ground. The whole village. Imperial scum. If there was any justice in this world, they would swing. Mistakes. It's over.
Hello. You are an animantor with this. Okay. Black blood.
Nice boots you got there. Hand him over. Over here. It's over. It's over. Stay down.
Stay down.
That's enough. It's over.
Nope, can't do anything with it still. Okay. I saw this dude here, so...
Too slow. Not this time.
Come here. Get over here.
Get him, boy. Not this time.
Trading towns. Right, back to the hideaway. Alright, we'll hand in this quest and we'll continue onward.
I heard Otto barking at his lot earlier.
Maybe I should just... Oh.
Yellow.
There you are. I just got back to the hideaway and thankfully Otto hasn't seen me yet. I don't suppose you,
Found the things you dropped. I did.
I was so sure they'd be gone. And the letter?
Only a little worse for wear.
No more skulking about in the shadows for me then. And all thanks to you. Losing those supplies is one thing, but if Sid had found out about that letter...
Is it about Cursebreaker business?
If only. It's from his daughter.
Daughter?
She's off studying in Canver, and her letters are all that keeps Sid sane while
Sid
she's
has
away.
a daughter.
You never mentioned a daughter.
Oh, he's a busy man. And thanks to you, he won't be wasting his time smiting careless couriers with levin boats. So I'd say you did us both a service. Here, for your troubles. If there's anything you're wanting from Sid, today's the day. He'll be sweet as honey once he gets his hands on this.
Alright. You know, I'm pretty sure I have full of almost everything. What's up with you, Kronya?
So what God's forsaken corner of the realm is Sid dragging you off to this time?
Oriflamme.
The Holy Capital. And what business would you lot having... On second thoughts, I don't want to know.
Oh, that reduces the cooldown. Okay.
You'll not find a better price than that. Speaking of Oriflamme, I hear the trading routes leading south have seen more than double the usual traffic. If you ask me, somewhat foul's brewing. And it ain't Tyre's borbile tea. Oh, just go and see Otto, will ya?
All right.
Otto. Otto, where are you? Hi, Otto. What's up?
So you're really going through with it? Sid's been talking about bringing down a Mothercrystal since I've known him. But that's all it's ever been. Talk.
He's convinced it's the right thing to do. We'll be leaving for the capital shortly.
Well, you couldn't have picked a better moment. Seems the hiding the Royalists gave him wasn't enough to dampen old Sylvester's spirits. His legions are on the march again. This time, due south.
Another war.
All as the great Grieger wills it. Bloodthirsty little miss, that one. That's God's for you, innit? Still, might work to our advantage on this occasion. Wars breed chaos. On the front lines, and at home. With a fair wind behind them, a handful of like-minded ne'er-do-wells could melt into the back alleys of Oriflamme. No trouble. It's making it to the capital that's the problem.
The checkpoint.
That's right. Anyone travelling in or out of Oriflamme has to go through Northreach. Lucky for you, I might just know of a way.
This?
Well, no, not that. That gets you an audience with the Dame. And it's the Dame who'll see you safely through Northreach. I'll send a Stolas in the morning. Let her know you're coming. We go way back. And she's a true friend of the cause. I'm sure you'll get on like a house on fire.
That's good of
Like
you.
a house on fire.
Who is this dame, and where will I find her?
She's the proud proprietress of Northreach's foremost house of ill repute, the Vale. And she's quite a woman, if you know what I mean.
A woman? Right.
Don't go blinding her with your charm now, lad. I'll be expecting a full report when you get back.
Alliant reports unlocked. Alliant reports are now available for viewing by speaking to Gott at the Alliant Report Courier in the Hideaway's mess. These reports, compiled by the Curse Breakers, contain information on quests currently available across Valisthea.
I
Okay.
suppose that's everything. Now to find Gav.
Oh, you're the new lad, aren't you? Goat at your service. Well, at the Hideaway service, anyway. Otto's put me in charge of reading through the reports sent in by our allies and picking out any problems that might warrant the attention of the Curse Breakers. Or any other willing volunteers. And there's no shortage of problems, I can tell you. Or maybe I don't have to. I'll warrant a strapping lad like you's got people begging him for help wherever you go. Anyway, if you're ever interested in taking a look over the list, just say the word. Reckon you could probably tick off the odd thing here and there. They say little acts of kindness are their own reward. But if that ain't enough, these have got proper bounties on them and all. Me?
Ask about him. Me? I do what Otto tells me. Suppose you could say I'm his right-hand man. He's a hard master, but not nearly as hard as my old one was. When that man beat me bloody and threw me out into the streets to die, it was Otto who found me, took me in.
The way I see it.
I owe him, and so I help him look over the ledgers, as well as reading through the reports coming in from our allies across the Twins. And if it sounds like someone out there needs our help, I make a note so I can point any willing volunteers the right direction.
So, what'd you say?
Are you willing? There's no sour way of turning Otto's frown. A little less frowny.
Here you go.
Use Cat's Alliant reports to not only find new quests around Valisthea, but also travel immediately to the obelisk waypoint near their location. While the cat's away, I might as well do this one then. Maybe we'll quickly do all these side quests and then that'll probably be the part.
The tavern. I've seen
Yellow.
your face before. You're a friend of Martha's. Help us, I beg you.
Help you with what?
Bandits in the Golden Stables. They're waving their swords around. I think they're gonna kill someone. When I saw what was happening, I slipped out the back. I should have stayed, but... Oh, please help them.
All right. I'll see to your problem.
Thank you.
How many were there?
I was out of the door too fast to count. They looked a nasty bunch, though. Be careful in there, all right?
Okay.
Ha! Golden Stables my ass. All Martha's hiding back here is coppers. Huh? Oh, that's a fine sword, friend. Heavy though, I expect. What say we relieve you of it? Get him, lads. I want that blade.
Let's get this over with.
Stay down.
It's over.
Easy peasy.
I'll be keeping my blade, thank you.
There he is! The hero of the Golden Stables!
Hello.
People think twice about pushing us around again, thanks to you. We're lucky you were nearby. No good cowards wouldn't have dared set foot in the place if I'd been here, of course.
But you weren't. I thought you told me you had someone watching the place.
The Blood Axes keep an eye on the tavern, yeah. When they're not busy keeping the peace, that is. I've spread them as thin as they'll go. The Empire might be in charge, but that don't mean they care to keep us safe. If it weren't for the Blood Axes and me, merchants won't come near these lands for fear of what might happen to them.
I see. Then you do Rosaria a great service.
Just as you did today. You're a useful man to have around. Here.
And there'll be a mug of something tasty waiting for you whenever you next stop by.
Right, we've got work to do for to make this place presentable. You best be going before I arm you with a mop.
Alright, so so this seems to be helping me get into some side quests, which is good to me.
There he is, the man of the hour. You're the one who saw off the bandits, aren't you? Martha was singing your praises. Takes a brave man to march into danger out of the goodness of his heart. You have my respect.
A Rosarian salute.
Oh, what is it they say? Old habits die hard. I trust you won't be reporting me to the Viceroy.
Viceroy.
If we'd had a few more like you about, perhaps the Rosfields might still... Listen to me rambling on. Thank you again, and, take care of yourself.
Okay, so there will be the side quest indicators on there too if there's side quests there, so that's good. Yellow.
You're Sid's man, if I'm not mistaken. Couldn't trouble you for some assistance, could I?
That depends. What do you need?
Some new bearers from Oriflamme just arrived, and it cost Master Quinton a pretty penny to convince their owner to part with them. Man must have been a bloody tyrant. I can't get a peep out of them, try as I might.
They're probably terrified of you.
You're probably right. Dare say it'd take a bearer like yourself to open them up. So, will you have a word with them? Help them settle in?
I'll see what I can do.
I can try.
That'll do me. Tell them they're safe, and that if they need anything, they just have to ask.
I'll let them know.
Appreciate it. They're sitting over there, taking a long overdue breather, looks like.
Hello.
So you're the new arrivals. Is there anything I can get you? You're safe here. They don't punish people like us for speaking our minds.
Truly. I'm hungry. My sister too, we're starving.
Wait here. I'll fetch you something from the tavern.
Thank you.
I won't be long. You stay here and rest.
Now, I'm not gonna say that there's definitely some unique NPCs here. I'm not gonna say they're all unique NPCs, but I feel like there's more unique NPCs here than there are, say, like, non.
Master Quinton will never forgive me if I don't save that crop.
Hello.
I want no trouble. Wait, that's... Oh, glory to Griga. You were the hanged man. I took you for a rogue. If you're a friend of Master Quinton's, then perhaps you'll help me. His vineyard, Lostwing's pride and joy, has been beset by a plague of giant wasps.
And you need someone to solve your pest problem.
I do indeed. I've never seen them so far from the forest, nor so mean, for that matter. I suppose the smell's got 'em worked up. And little wonder. This'll be the finest crop we've ever known if the fiends don't eat it first. I tried chasing them off myself, but they won't flee from the likes of me. And if I don't bring those grapes in for pressing soon, Master Quinton will have my guts for garters. You look like you can handle that blade of yours. Will you put it to use for a comrade in need? Please. Rid us of these wasps so I can be about my business.
All right. I'll see to it.
Oh, thank you. You'll find them over at Gotan's Bales on the edge of town. And hurry, Lostwing needs those grapes.
Okay. Hi, Jill. The mysteries of vinification. While some winemakers will remove the skin of the grapes after pressing, leaving both skin and seeds in the juice to congeal creates a must that is better suited for extended aging, ultimately resulting in a more refined wine. Then, once the wine calms itself significantly, the skins are removed and the must is then transformed to wooden barrels of oak or chestnut, which, by allowing air to leach into the wine, impart deepen levels of complexity, introducing rich aromas and improving texture, all while lessening bitterness. Huh, interesting. Right, let me get the stuff at the tavern first.
Sun's setting fast. They'll all be back from the vineyard soon.
If you've something to ask, ask. What is there to know?
Some would call me Mayor, others Master. People of Lostwing know the truth. As for my relationship with Sid, suffices to say that he and I share certain mutual interests which have brought us together. We are allies of convenience, nothing more. I scratch his back, he scratches mine. And neither of us lingers over long on the details.
When I arrived,
Lostwing was no more than a collection of tottering hovels, huddled in the shadow of the ancient hubris. The ideal place, in short, for one who sought to escape the watchful gaze of the Empire.
Yet,
it was not until I had finished my survey of the neighboring hills that I realized the true value of this place. The soil rich, the water plentiful, and the sun strong. To wit, a most suitable environment for the governing of wine grapes. And so proved for our vintage, now graced dining halls from the free cities to the frigid north.
it is a rare day.
When we are visited by the soldiery, even rare when they hail from across the narrow.
And for what?
He told me that they may or may not exist. Be it smoke or flame, no good was ever had gasping at either.
Now, if you don't mind, I have work to do.
Can I have another?
I'll have 2 plates of whatever you're serving.
Sorry. We've enough mouths of our own to feed without tending to the wants of outsiders.
It's not for me. It's for some new arrivals.
Oh, my apologies. I didn't see the mark. So you're a comrade. Well, in that case, you may have whatever you require. Take all the bread and wine you want.
That's really all it takes. One look at the innkeeper's mark.
Of course it is. I do as Master Quinton commands, as do we all. And Master Quinton commands that none of his favoured guests be left wanting. Well, don't keep our new comrades waiting. Take what you need and see that they eat their fill.
Bread and wine. Hopefully this will be enough.
But how did the grubs...
Don't tell me. Turnips for supper.
Brother.
Turnips for supper. Here, some wine and bread.
Yeah. Bread and wine from the tavern.
I don't mind these side quests. They don't take too long to complete, so.
Truly. Such plenty. Never in all my days.
Brother, this place is like a dream. We sat and no one shouted. We ate and more was offered.
I know. I can't believe it.
You're free now. And the next time you're hungry, you need only ask to be fed.
Thank you for everything. Thank you.
A gillowbug. Alright, that's one quest down. Let's get rid of these pests and then we'll call it a part.
That must be the vineyard. A few wasps shouldn't give me too much trouble.
Stay down! It's over.
We're not alone.
That's enough.
Don't stop.
Woof, woof.
Looks like that was the last of them. I better let Quinton's man know.
Better let Quinton's man know. I wonder when we'll get like a... We're definitely going to get at least another limit break gauge, I bet.
Don't tell me. Turnips for supper.
Turnips for super. Speaking of supper, I'm actually starting to get a little hungry myself. Hello.
Those wasps won't be interfering with your harvest anymore.
Oh, thank you. Master Quinton would have had my head if I'd lost the crop. I'd say you've earned a reward. Our Gotand Rouge fetches a handsome price among the rich and powerful of the realm. We use that money to keep our comrades fed and imperial wolves from our door. The vineyards were Master Quinton's idea. He wanted to give bearers a place to work, a place where they'd be safe.
Well, he certainly seems to have done that here. I'm glad I could help.
I'll see that he hears of your kindness. And once this vintage is ripe for drinking, there'll be a glass or two raised in your honor.
Dine on the vine. Alright, let's hear what Gav has to say first before we make our way.
Well, 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 someone's in a hurry.
Just following orders.
Funny, I never took you for the type.
Can't all be as obedient as you, Gav.
Eh?
Fine day for a little mischief, wouldn't you say?
Is this all of us?
Actually, Gav won't be coming.
Just the three of us, then?
Drake's Head is the keystone of the Empire. Oriflamme's in chaos, yes, but that doesn't mean we can march an army through her gates. The fewer our numbers, the better our chances of going unnoticed. And should that plan fail, well, we have our Eikons to fall back on.
Sid, I don't know if I can. Ifrit still seems to come and go as he pleases.
Ordinarily, priming an Eikon comes naturally to a dominance. But then, you are no ordinary dominance.
Well, he's still got the blessing of the Phoenix, doesn't he?
Not to mention what he sucked out of Garuda. And did I ever tell you about how he was once the greatest shield in Rosaria? You know, I reckon he could probably cause a path out of the capital on his own if need be.
Let's try not to find out.
We're less likely to be spotted if we travel separately. I'll meet you in Northreach in a few days. You two behave now.
You two behave. Ah, I thought they'd be like, Ah, there we go. Perfect. Exactly what I wanted. Alright, guys. That is going to do it for this part of Let's Play Final Fantasy 16. In the next part, guys, we make our way to the capital and see dear old Mummy. And we're going to fucking kill her. Or at least I hope so. Or at least get close to. Let her know that your son lives, you know. But yeah. Anyway, guys, thank you all so much for watching this video. Guys, if you liked the video, please give that like button a click. And comment down below what you like about the video, didn't like about the video. And let me know, guys, what you think of the side content and everything now becoming available. Or not really now becoming available, but like learning about the side content through the through that one guy's thing. The Alliant reports. I think that's cool. as well. Oh, you know what? Let's see what that is. Oh, does that mean that we're gonna get a level up when it has the yellow bar on it? I think it does. Let's quickly check that out. I kind of forgot that there was that. So.
And how might this old soul be of...
I love him being excited to tell him. He's like, hey, hey. Hey, extant encyclopedia.
For you today.
The Continental Accord, an international pact made at the dawn of the present era, in which such matters as the treatment of bearers and the establishment of the realm-wide currency were laid out. It formed the basis of much of Valisthea society as it stands today, including the branding of bearers and the status of non-persons. It also put in place a universal calendar, marking a symbolic fresh start for mankind, albeit one which put magic users at a crippling disadvantage. Far and uncertainty resigned in those early years following the sins of Desmex, not wanting to further incur the wrath of the heavens. The few who survived the fall took to wandering the land, spurning magic and staying in the shadows, and so they lived for decades. One man, however, grew tired of this life, if it could be called that, and after bidding his companions farewell, climbed a greasy knoll overlooking a forest of beech and alder. Here he gathered a pile of rubble and used it to build a humble shelter in which he spent the night. The next morning, however, instead of abandoning his work, as was his people's wont, he gathered more rocks, aiding to the structure until the shelter had become a shack. This he continued for days, weeks, until the shack had become a home. At first, those few wanderers who passed the knoll would shun him, cursing the man under their breaths for his hubris. But as his estate grew and one building became two and two, three, the people began to slow their steps, and it was not long before some took to join him at their knoll, gathering some stones, building new lives, new destinies. This they did without magics or machines, without boons or blessings. They relied on naught but their hands, their backs, their wills, and each other. And slowly houses grew away to village to towns, and towns to nation. The man would one day die, as all men do, but those who remained continued his legacy, expanded upon it, and thus his name was eventually forgotten. His spirit lives on to this day in the hearts of all Rosarians. Legend of the Founder, Master Chronicler.
What subject shall we consider today?
After joining Cid, returned to Zuri, he returns to the ruins of Phoenix Gate where his father and brother died 13 years ago and learned that he is indeed the dominant of Ifrit, the one who took his brother's life. Anxious to atone for his crimes and filled with righteous anger after witnessing the massacre at Eastpool, he pledged himself to Cid's cause to free all of Valisthea from its bonds, not only those between bear and master, but those between man and the Mothercrystal. As a loyal lackey, tasked not only with keeping the ledgers, but with reading and sorting the myriad reports that enter the hideaway and arranging assistance to those in need. Born a bear, Got was kept as a slave in the Oriflamme Tavern, whose keeper would beat him bloody. After being thrown out onto the city streets as punishment for a minor mistake, it was his fortune to be found by Otto, who took him back to his hideout. The Dame, an ally of Cid's cause who makes her home in Northreach. It was she who informed the hideaway of the redeployment of the Sembeque's legions following their casting of Waylode at Valisthea, and it is she who will secure Clive's passage through the Northreach checkpoint. First and foremost to the 5 cardinals who make of the Council of Elders, second only to the Holy Emperor and the Imperial Government. It's his role to lead the Council in governing Sembeque, Sembre in the Empire's stead, and providing the latter does not overrule his decisions, his authority is absolute. A town cathedral from which the Holy Emperor of the rules over the entire Desmond, with the Mothercrystal rising above it and the Imperial capital of Oriflamme spraying out below. The ivory edifice is truly a wonder to behold. Mothercrystal situated at the Sea of Grace in northern Sembeque. Drake's Head towers over the holy capital of Oriflamme. Its might form a testament to the power and permanence of the Empire. However, mysterious aether flows and the specter of the ever-crushing blight have led some in power to call the permanence into question. The 5 cardinals, the senior statements. Yep, okay. The northern, southern, eastern, and western seas. A region overlooking the state of Oth in the eastern part of Sembeque. The bounty provided by its rich soil fed the empire for generations until its ever-encroaching blight interfered, dispatching thousands in the process. A disturbance which played no small part in the trouble that were later to engulf the imperial capital. I know that's not how you pronounce the holy capital, but I'm sorry. It's something that I can't quite. The Gregorian Church. The state religion of the Holy Empire of Sambro. Those follow the worship of gods Gregor as the one true deity. The church's head stands the Holy Emperor voted into office by his fellow cardinals, and supposedly they're equal, though this is widely recognized to be a convenient fiction. The followers of the Gregor worships dragons as sacred servants to their gods, and since the founding days of the empire have both dotted and depended upon them. Mothercrystals. Their tax on the land. Basic information. I think they are the source of all the crystals. Not only that, but the land surrounding them are rich with aether, making the magics of crystals cast even more potent. As is the greatest nation. Yeah, I think we've already read that. The people of Valisthea rely on the crystal mine from these mountains in their everyday lives and flock to the aether-rich lands around them in pursuit of their blessing. Sid points that it is in fact the Mothercrystals and their ability to draw aether from Earth that is the reason the dead lands advance. The few who learn the truth are hunted down by those in positions of power, those whose power rests on their control of the crucial resource. And a Mantortis. Alright. Alright, guys, yeah. So, yeah, let me know what you guys thought about all that stuff that we just did in this part. I thought it was pretty cool. So, yeah. And as always, guys, hit the subscribe button so you don't miss a beat. And subscribe to our main channel, too. That's in the description below. As well as follow me on Twitter. Both my main Twitter, the RPG Kim Kid Twitter, in there, too. Thank you all so much for watching once again. And I'll see you all next time.